Good morning, it's a Tuesday. Thank you, Jesus, for another day. So let's get into the video. This weekend, I got the whole shop cleaned up. I got everything organized, airlines organized, electric run, a whole bunch of stuff. Cleaned out, all the equipment waxed, working perfectly, fixed up. We're back in business. I'm gonna start building face frames. Brandon's gonna go install doors. Jacob's going to prime and spray. Then we have a whole nother set of doors that we have to get primed and sprayed today. So it's gonna be a crazy day. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. It's gonna be a crazy day. Brandon and Jacob got out of here. Brandon went to go install doors and a little bit of trim. I think Carl went to go help him. Carl also had to pick up handles for that job. And Brandon went to the job where him and myself went yesterday to install those cabinets and put the crown molding up. So he has like toe kick shoe, hang the doors, drawer fronts, drill handles done, and then some touch up. Carl's there to help. And then Jacob went out and he is spraying on a resurfacing job, which is the existing doors, existing drawer fronts, existing handles. We just take everything off, bring it back here to the shop, spray it in our oven, spray booth oven, and then there's a whole process into doing that. It's sanding, degreasing, fixing anything, priming, spraying, a whole process. But then on the frame side, he taped yesterday, sand degreased, fixed, and then today he's going to be priming, spraying, and then tomorrow we might put on doors there, or Thursday we might put on doors there. So that being said, I'm here. I have white oak cut down for my face frames. Another kitchen remodel job for new cabinets. 1 3/4, and then 2 3/4, because some of my cabinets, the tops of the uppers, these are going to the ceiling. We're putting a little piece of the square crown that we make. So I make the tops of those cabinets 2 1/2. Most of my other face frames are going to be 1 3/4, or 1 1/2, I mean, so they're 1 3/4. Everything's just oversized, so once I cut it down on the chop saw, I can then rip it down to about a 30-second over, 1 1/2 or 2 1/2, or whatever the measurement needs to be. There's some 1 1/4, there's some 1 3/4, there's some 4-inch for a blind corner situation. So, and then I'll take it to the vertical belt sander and it'll just finish making sure everything is perfect. No saw marks, no irregularities, no anything terrible. And then once that's done, then we can go over there, glue, screw, double check the measurements, then take it back to vertical belt sander, go from 13/16 thick to 3/4 inch thick, and then the face frames will then get palm sanded one more time over here, and then they'll be ready for stain and clear coat inside of our oven. So that's the game plan today. We'll see how much we get done. I've been cutting out a lot of my face frames. I started with all the 2 1/2 inch material. That's completed, and now I'm moving on to the 1 3/4, which will make 1 1/2 material. I'm just trying to go through some of these white oak material. A lot of it is really nice, but some of it has like big knots and stuff. I do not want that in the finish. So just going through and making sure none of it sneaks into our finish, which kind of slows stuff down. The oak we get is really nice from our distributor, but sometimes it has a tendency for this, where when we make our painted doors, we use beech wood, which is a super dense, nice material, tight grain. It works really well for paint. But the real nice thing about it is there doesn't seem to be that many defects for whatever reason. Not really sure why. I'm sure someone could let me know why. So that's number 5 bottomed. But there just doesn't seem to be the amount of defects that some of the other woods have in that beech wood. It also cuts really nice too. We have finished blades in all our stuff, but that beech wood cuts so nice. We love using it. It's not the cheapest in the world. There's definitely a lot of other material you could use that's cheaper for painted, but the super dense material, and it stands up to the test of time well. So we continue using it because it's a good product. And it's not like crazy expensive, but like some people use poplar or other materials that are a lot cheaper. Okay, so we have that one. Now we just need our right hand side. Like, I don't obviously want that in the finish. I don't really want that on the back side either, being quite honest about it. Will this come off? No, it'll be in. Okay, so let's go like this. Let's work around it. That piece can be used hopefully for something else. White oak's expensive, so I don't want to just waste a million board feet, but I also don't want defects in our product. 27. Okay, so number 5, this should be the right hand side. Good. And then the top piece is right there. Put that with that. There we go. Okay. So I have 5 fully complete. Now let's move on to number 6. Do I have number 6 top? I do. I didn't have it marked, but I do have it done. I have all of my upper material for my face frames cut. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to rip some more material for my lowers, and then I'll trim those down to the exact size. Well, about a 30-second over, so that way then I can go vertical belt sander and then actually get them to the exact size. So I need some more 1 3/4 inch. See which side we want to cut. I think this side. And the reason why I overcut it is because it's just easier to rip boards this length than it is that length to be perfectly accurate. And then we'll finish it on the vertical belt sander so it is perfectly accurate. And then I should be able to use this scrap. Maybe I'll have to measure it for the crown. It looks a little bit shallow down there, so might not be able to, but try to use every piece of all boards that look good or that look well. I don't want any knots or any terrible looking things. So now I'm gonna go a hair over, 1.5 right here, I think, 32nd over. This is number 1. So my top piece is 2.5 wide, so I'll wait on that. Here's my bottom piece though. There we go. Get rid of that. My right hand piece. Side looks correct. Let's go right here. I just switched the blades out. Nice new blade. And it's working wonderfully. Crazy how much a blade makes a difference. Come right here. There we go. And then this guy right here is our top piece, so it needs to be 2.5. It's one of the ways our cabinets are custom. We can make the face frames whatever width they need to be. There we go. We can make any part of the cabinet whatever width, height, depth, whatever it needs to be. That's one of the reasons why. So what I just did to that, I need to do to the rest of these, and then I'll put them over there. They're ready for the vertical belt sander. And then I'll take this material. I'll probably have to rip some more, and I'll cut it all down on the chop saw for all of the lowers. Come back here, and then go back over there. I just got a call from Brandon that he's about 2 hours away. I mismeasured 2 of the doors. So annoying. It's okay though, I'm gonna try to remake them right now, get them sprayed right now. Maybe put them on later today, I don't know about that. Maybe try to put them on tomorrow. I'm gonna try to get them completely done today though. That oven's gonna play a big role. I already have the math done on them, so cut them, sand them, coat stick, get the panels done, get them together, and get them sprayed up. I now have my 4 doors that I mismeasured. Instead of 2, it was 4. They're made. Glue is drying. I'm gonna vertical belt sand from 13/16 to 3/4 of an inch. Cut them down, router them, double check the measurements this time. Again, palm sand, and then we're gonna get them sprayed and on today. Face frames are most of the way cut out of white oak. They need to go through the vertical belt sander, and I also need to finish cutting out some more. Can't believe I mismeasured a job 2 hours away. I don't think I've really mismeasured doors, and I couldn't even tell you, like, forever. And then this is the time it happens. But that's okay. We always make mistakes, so we just have to get it done right, correctly, and get the job done for the client so they can have their kitchen. So I'm going to vertical belt sand these down 1/16 of an inch with 80 grit, 150 grit. Then I'll cut down, palm sand, router out, and get going here. I now have these doors made. They're all routered, and I did double check them this time. They are correct. I double checked them last time too, but not correct. So now I'm just giving them a nice palm sand, cleaning everything up, and then I'll go over to the mini press and start boring these doors. Just finished boring these doors with the Boom mini press. Here's all the hinges and screws that I unscrewed. The doors are ready to get sprayed. Got to do that nice and quickly, but still do a great job. And then, wow, my camera is musty and dusty. Then we got to get them all installed. So I better get to priming and spraying right now. First coat of primer is done and complete. Now I need to get these doors out of here, get these doors sanded, so I can start putting on the top coat. We got those white doors completed. They're sent out. The other doors for the existing resurface job, they'll be finished up tomorrow so they can get installed on Thursday. All the face frames are cut down to size. They just have to be run through the vertical belt sander. We'll do that tomorrow, and then we'll jig everything, screw everything, glue everything, vertical belt sand everything, and double check all the face frames. And then those will be ready on Thursday as well for stain and clear coat. Now what I'm doing is we have this cabinet for this job that we did a while ago, but we were unable to do it at the time because the countertop was not in. And this cabinet goes ceiling, essentially ceiling to counter. Turn this thing off. Ceiling to counter, so we needed to wait until the counter was in, obviously, to do that, to measure for it. Well, now it's measured, and now we can build it. I just had the CNC oversize it, and then I'm able to cut it down. We do not need the bottom piece because this cabinet is not going to have a bottom. The counter is going to be the bottom. Ooh, I wonder if I should drill for the shelf holes right now, or I'm going to definitely be mad at myself later that I didn't do that. So let's just do it now, I suppose. Let's get these pins in. Let's see if this will line up or not. CNC doesn't like to line up the greatest with the Craigs, quite honestly. Oh, it does. Okay. Love that. So I just need to remember bottom for my next piece. So go bottom. And that hole right there, I think, will work well. It's only 2 shelves, so this will be plenty. Now I'm going to stick this pin down here. Perfect. I'm using an impact on purpose. For whatever reason, I have no idea why, these come out a lot cleaner when impact is used. The drill, for whatever reason, likes to fray the material we use, and the holes never quite come out great. So I use an impact for this. Seems kind of dumb, quite honestly, but what I've learned works. That lines up. Move our hole back down to here. Make sure that's in. One time I didn't double check that that was in and started moving. Not great. A lot of shelf holes. Gives the client a lot of flexibility for where they want the shelves to go. And you know we made the shelves tremendously thick, 7/8, so it's a wide cabinet, 33. Want to make sure nothing bows, warps, or bends. Okay, that one's completed. I'm going to do the same thing to the other piece, and then I'll start gluing and screwing everything together. All those shelf holes are drilled. I got glue back there. Now it's time to stand this piece up. Hopefully it's a big boy. Let's see what we can do here. Oh my goodness. It ain't light, that's for sure. Attempt to get this thing put together here. It wants to, sometimes it doesn't want to, which is lovely. Nope, it's gonna fight. There we go. Okay. Let's try to quickly get some screws in it. Feels good up top. Where's our hole at? Right there. There you are. Perfect. Feels good on the inside. Get that all pushed in. The dados are tight, which is always a good thing. CNC did not do a very good job at cutting these this time. Sometimes the material is like a 64th thicker than other times. Maybe even less than that, but that can make a difference. So that's why the holes may not be showing. Definitely a pain in the butt, but it is what it is. We'll make it work. We always do. There we go. Love that. Okay. One side done. Clear that all out there. Get a bunch of glue up in here. Okay. Shove it together, hopefully. It's gonna fight again. Nothing will drive you more crazy than when dados don't go together like that. It's a Tuesday, so you know how everything fights on a Tuesday. Just like that, cabinet's completed. The shelves are over there. I do need to cut down the face frame. That'll be one of the last things I do here. Actually, it won't be. There's a whole bunch more stuff I have to do. With that being said, I'm in the video here. It is so hot here. It's like 100 degrees with like 80% humidity. It's crazy in Iowa. Crazy. Should be illegal, but it's not. Today was a fun one. Got to remake the doors that I messed up. What else? Did a bunch of face frame stuff, cabinet stuff, a whole bunch of spraying stuff. Tomorrow, hopefully we make more progress on the face frames, get those done and ready for Thursday, along with the other set of doors, along with the cabinet shells, and then maybe even try to spray this face frame. So, see you tomorrow. If you enjoyed the video, give us a like, subscribe, check out our website, check us out on Facebook, Instagram. We make custom cabinets, and we remodel kitchens and bathrooms. That's all we do. So, see you then. Adios.